Thank you for joining this session. We will be discussing the role of YouTube advertising in driving online success for your business. But first, let me introduce myself. My name is Nadine Swart. I work in business development for a market-leading online marketing agency called iLead et al. This includes me compiling strategies for new clients and at all times evaluating new tech and platforms to onboard for the purpose of driving growth for our clients online in innovative ways. A large part of my work is to collaborate with Google and ensure that we are always on top of new trends and features to bring results to our clients' campaigns. I have been in the advertising industry for 10 years and started out in experiential marketing. Since making the move to digital 5 years ago, I have been in love with the industry. A little about iLead et al. We have been in the online marketing game since 2006 and have grown to be one of the leading digital marketing agencies in South Africa. As a Google Premier partner, we have access to a dedicated team of product experts at Google who actively work with us to provide the necessary support and insights to ensure that our clients' campaigns always perform from a Google Ads perspective. So let's talk about YouTube ads.
Holy cow, it's braided!
There are currently over 24 million South Africans on YouTube. Fun fact, YouTube is the world's second largest search engine, following Google. Why do we consider YouTube as a viable advertising platform? It is because 55% of people who search for a product or service on Google end up learning more about it on YouTube before making their purchasing decision. YouTube can assist in creating a competitive marketing edge for any business. When it comes to understanding a customer's intent, there isn't much better we can work from than what they are currently searching on Google. And the majority, 86% of people, do turn to Google for ideas on what to buy. Now we can capture that same audience on YouTube. So someone who has just searched for ski equipment could be influenced by an ad for a ski brand when they reach YouTube. In this way, you can effectively extend the reach of your search campaigns to YouTube as well as target the same audience from different angles, effectively reinforcing your brand. Here's a question for you. Can you think of an instance in which you researched something on Google and it then ended up seeing an ad for it when you went onto YouTube a little bit later? When running ads on YouTube, let's explore the ad formats we can choose from. The first ad format available on YouTube is bumper ads, of which there are both a 6-second and a 15-second option. They are short or bite-sized for easy consumption. A key feature of these ads is that they are not skippable. This means that the option to skip the ad does not become available. The advertiser does, however, pay every time that this ad is shown, because it cannot be skipped. This ad type works well for a brand the user has already engaged with and is already familiar with, and just to quickly reinforce it back to them here. The person might have, for example, already been on your website and is just being reminded by seeing this ad as part of a remarketing strategy. It also works well for well-known brands that need no introduction. So let's have a look at an example of an effective bumper ad. This is the 6-second option. Let's have a look at a 15-second option.
When it comes to energy snacks, there's no-nos and there's na-nas. Chemical high, that's a no-no. All-day glow, that's a na-na. When you need longer-lasting energy, reach for nature's energy snack, Australian bananas.
So there are 3 effective bumper ad strategies that can be included here. You can either use these ads to tease a user, perhaps in anticipation of a new product launch pending, and showing these bumper ads before the full-length video announcement is released. Or they can be used to amplify a message by running bumper ads in conjunction with full-length ads and then using them to amplify the message in between the user seeing the full-length video. Another option is that bumper ads can be shown after a user has seen the full-length video, just to echo the message and reinforce it. Have you ever seen an ad recall survey on social media or YouTube prompting you to indicate whether you remember seeing an ad for Krispy Kreme, for example? I've answered these surveys before, and the fact that they asked me this meant that they must have shown this ad to me before. But to be honest, in most cases, I honestly can't remember ever seeing it. By using these techniques, however, and bringing in bumper ads as reinforcement, YouTube has shown that 9 out of 10 people asked can in fact recall seeing these ads. The second ad format is TrueView ads. These ads can be very long, however, YouTube does not recommend that they be longer than 3 minutes. At iLead et al., we also encourage our clients to even keep them to 40 seconds max to avoid losing the viewer's attention. These are the famous skippable ads that become skippable after 5 seconds. The good news for advertisers, however, is that these ads are only paid for once the user has watched 30 seconds or more of the ad. If they skip the ad before this, you do not pay for this view. So if an ad, however, is only 30 seconds long or perhaps less than that, you will pay if the ad was watched to completion. Let's have a look at an award-winning TrueView ad.
I've had my ups and downs, my fair share of bumpy roads and heavy winds. That's what made me what I am today. Now I stand here before you. What you see is a body crafted to perfection, a pair of legs engineered to defy the laws of physics, and a mindset to master the most epic of splits.
Who can say where the road goes, where the day flows? Only time. And who can say if your love grows as your heart shows? Only time. We
Once upon a time, when YouTube ads first appeared, they were very good for targeting TV-style audiences and creating general awareness. However, they have since become far more effective in not only reaching people, but driving action amongst them. Introducing YouTube for Action. This concept was created to drive sales and conversions from YouTube ads directly to the website by targeting high-intent customers and driving them through to where they can do business with you. YouTube for Action works by reaching people based on their intent. It makes it as easy as possible for them to take action. And advanced analytics makes it easy for us to track this performance and optimize it accordingly. We can now combine an effective video that sells the brand message with an easy way for viewers to take action immediately, making YouTube ads a lot more effective in driving sales and conversions. These ads consist of a customizable blue action button and an auto-generated end card that shows for 5 seconds after the video ends. These are applied to TrueView ads, and thus these ads do become skippable after 5 seconds. When it comes to targeting audiences on YouTube, Google has access to 7 properties used to analyze user behavior and identify intent signals. So, for example, Google can consider that a person has searched for Hawaii hotels on Google. They might also have used Google Maps to check where her hotel's location is. They browsed sites to compare prices of hotels in Hawaii and perhaps even watched videos on YouTube on the top 10 things to do in Hawaii. This behavior all works together to trigger an intent signal that this person is planning a trip to Hawaii. An advertiser selling swimsuits online's ads might, for example, then trigger to start showing to this person on YouTube. Targeting the correct audience with the correct message on YouTube is crucial. People are 3 times more likely to pay attention to ads that were relevant to them versus just a random one. Let's look at some ways to target these audiences more effectively. You can add audience targeting to your ad groups and reach people based on who they are, their interests and habits, what they're actually researching, and how they have interacted with your business. Audiences are groups of people with specific interests, intents, and demographics, as estimated by Google. You can select from a wide range of audience targeting options. Let's review some of these. Affinity audiences include different groups of people based on their interests and hobbies, such as targeting sports fans or auto enthusiasts or gamers, for example. Life events audiences allows you to target people around important life milestones, like graduating from college, moving homes, or getting married. By understanding when these moments are taking place, you can tailor your ads to reach the right users with the right message at the right time. A consumer electronic brand selling speakers and home entertainment systems targeted people who recently moved into a new house and saw amazing results. In-market audiences are based on finding customers who are in the market for something, which means that they're actively researching a product and thus considering buying it soon. Custom audiences work by defining your audience based on the specific keywords that they might have been searching on Google, certain websites they might have been visiting like your competitors, and apps related to your product or service. Detailed demographics enables you to reach broad segments of the population that share common traits, such as college students, homeowners, or new parents. Customer Match lets you use your own online and offline data to reach and re-engage with your customers. Here you can, for example, upload a specific list of customers you would like to target via a database including email addresses, names, etc. This works really well in launching a new product or service to people who have done business with you in the past. Think of, for example, cross-selling or upselling your clients. Similar audiences takes the guesswork out of your search for new audiences by automatically finding new customers similar to your existing ones. So Google Ads uses machine learning here to look at those who have converted on your site and finds others who are similar to them in behavioral traits. And lastly, but probably the most famous targeting method, called remarketing. Remarketing works by tracking people who visit your site and then end up leaving it without converting, and then following them with your ads. The objective here is to keep your brand top of mind. So if someone visits your site without converting, we can assume that they have left to do more research or perhaps compare your offering to that of your competitors. In this case, we want to ensure that we remain top of mind in this research process by showing your ad to them after they have left. As you can imagine, YouTube advertising lives in a world of its own. Let's look at how we can create the most effective ads using these creative guidelines. But first, we know that creative effectiveness is critical in driving a positive return on investment. Only 5 to 35% of ROI is achieved by targeting the correct audience, whereas 50 to 80% of ROI is due to having effective creative assets. When creating an ad for YouTube, we cannot just take an ad created for TV and load it as a YouTube ad. The screen a YouTube ad is likely to be displayed on is much smaller than your average TV. Therefore, we have some basic guidelines that can assist in editing these ads to be more suited to this platform. Firstly, you need a clear call to action. Tell people what it is that you want them to do. Learn more about this offer by clicking here, or purchase yours today to avoid missing out on this promotion. Don't assume people know what to do with your ad. With TrueView ads, you have the first 5 seconds to capture attention. Ensure that you use this time to give them a reason to keep watching by introducing a problem or showing them an offer, for example, first. Don't make them wait. Use quick cuts and pacing to convey your message in the most effective and shortest way possible. Viewer attention spans don't tend to be very long. An overwhelming amount of views on YouTube come from mobile, so ensure you cater to a mobile audience by zooming in on objects, having bright footage, and taking other measures to ensure that you stand out on mobile. Mixing up the traditional way of storytelling a bit is also bound to capture attention. With a YouTube ad being skippable, it is important to plan your story around that. The traditional story arc usually starts off by subtly leading in, then building on that, reaching a climax, and then winding down with the offer and brand reinforcement. For YouTube, however, this is more effective to start high and exciting in the first 5 seconds. Throw in some subtle brand cues early on, provide an unexpected shift in the story, working in more than one peek to the video, and finally providing more story for those who continue watching. Essentially, if someone skips when they get to the middle or to the unexpected shift, for example, you have already gotten a valuable view with the content you presented before that.
I've got an idea for a Heinz ketchup commercial. I was at this super posh restaurant. Super posh. The type of place that has chandeliers and paintings on the wall and way too many forks. I think classical music was playing. But maybe it was jazz. No, definitely classical. The hostess walks up to me and she says, "Mr. Sheeran, is this your first time dining with us?" And I say, "Yep." The waiter comes over, he's telling me about the specials. Super fancy vegetables, fancy sauces. I said, "Sounds fancy." So, fast forward and the food comes. The waiter goes on to tell me, "We are proud to present this farm-to-table blah blah blah, posh and fancy blah blah blah, with a side of blah blah blah." You know, the food looked good. I just thought there was something missing. So I reach into my bag and I take out the only thing that can complete me. And at that point, the whole world came to a stop. And the waiter was screaming through his eyes. So that's my idea. Do you want to do it?
So apparently this is based on an actual DM or direct message that was sent to Heinz by Sheeran. To start off with, I think that throwing it Sheeran in the first 5 seconds was definitely very effective in capturing people's attention. Straight after that, once they had your attention in the first seconds 1 to 5, mentioning the brand name. The story then takes an unexpected shift when he whips out his Heinz ketchup in a 5-star restaurant and peaks with the waiter and restaurant staff's reaction. A brilliant emerging story arc, in my opinion. Another way of keeping an audience's attention is not showing them the same ad multiple times. If someone has seen an ad, mix it up by showing them a different ad with the same message the next time they come onto YouTube. This way, you are reinforcing your message multiple times, but keeping the viewer engaged throughout. Here's a good example of such an approach taken by Sonos, the brand message being, "You're better than this, get a Sonos," but a different ad every time using the 15-second bumper ad format. Quick, efficient, and engaging every time.
This is your final chance. We're taking care of the problem as we speak.
And the next one is my personal favorite.
Incoming call from mom.
I wanna lay you down. I wanna lay you down.
So our last topic today is a question I get often when discussing YouTube. Is it better to advertise on YouTube or TV? My answer is simple. YouTube and TV both work well if they are planned and executed together. Supporting a TV ad with YouTube is a great way to get more views for less. YouTube is much cheaper than running a TV ad. So for example, during the times of day that your TV ad is not running, run it on YouTube to ensure you have a consistent presence.
Them Injuns had ideas about rustling up some Big T burgers for supper. Right, kids? Right, Big T! They're gonna be hopping mad when they start sniffing these smoke signals. Cause my burgers are beefier than a herd of cattle. Mighty tasty, too. Big T! Give them Big T, Mom. Fastest burgers in the world.
Okay, so I'm not going to ask if anyone remembers this ad. In 1978, the SABC aired the very first TV ad in South Africa, only 2 years after making its first broadcast. This quickly caused a major shift in advertising as a new ad placement was born. In the following years, TV became the most prominent advertising platform in the world. However, in 1997, something else came along. The internet completely changed the way we watch video. Today, we watch video on whichever device we want, using whichever platform we want, whenever we want, wherever we choose. There is now more content to choose from that viewers know what to do with, and so many ways to watch it. One of the favorites being, of course, YouTube. YouTube is currently the 4th largest video watching channel in South Africa, right on the heels of the SABC and ETV. There are 2 ways of incorporating YouTube into your TV plans. Firstly, you can aim to optimize your reach by keeping the same budget but allocating a portion to YouTube ads, now reaching audiences across both TV and YouTube. Or you can aim for ultimate reach by allocating additional budget to include YouTube and reach a much larger audience than before. These advertisers who incorporated both of these channels throughout their TV strategy saw higher brand awareness, significantly higher ad awareness, increased ad recall, aka people remembering that they actually saw the ad, and double the amount of people considering to actually make a purchase from them. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch today. Please feel free to make contact for any YouTube or Google Ads need that you might have.